Hey guys, welcome back to 2000 and something, the worst movie review channel on the internet. That was me playing an instrument.
Wow.
I did kind of mess up on the chords a bit, but you probably didn't even notice. So you're probably noticing now because I pointed out that I did mess up at some point.
I didn't know. All I knew is Joey goes, "Hey, don't worry about it. I've got something for the intro."
That's what I'm gonna try to. That's what I'm gonna try to do every video now. Is kind of change up the intro because I know the past two videos I did a weird video. I already have something planned for next video.
You're gonna run out so quick, dude.
I'm gonna run out of so quick, so you will see some repeats because it's gonna be eventually like my shirts. I can only buy so many Hawaiian shirts.
What are we doing today?
We're doing this.
Whoa. What is it?
I don't know. What is it, Will?
Tell me what it
I
is.
don't want to say. I don't want
It's
to.
Moon Knight. We're doing episodes 4 and 5. Delightful. We've made it this far.
Yeah.
No stopping us now.
I'm not gonna lie. Episode 2 was kind of boring, but I think these last two episodes were pretty exciting, in my honest opinion.
Right? These
Yeah.
are so much better.
I think it's because there's a lot more going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess Will's kind of try to take. You're gonna take the lead on this one, aren't you?
Well, first we gotta jump right into it, as it were.
You see that? I just snapped us back into existence.
Whoa,
That
Thanos?
was a cool. No, not Thanos.
Okay.
I'm just built different.
Yikes.
So, just first things first.
Mm-hmm.
I did like these two episodes. There was a lot of stuff going on, and I'm a little sad there wasn't a lot of like Moon Knight suit,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a lot more story and more development of the characters to where we can understand them on a deeper level. At least in episode 5, we found a little bit more about Mark's backstory,
Right.
and then episode 4 it was more about Steven kind of showing how smart he is and able to figure out what, and him working with Layla too, being able to figure out these problems without Mark. Now he did get a little cocky, like, oh yeah, muscle memory and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Is Moon Knight the worst part of Moon Knight?
I don't know, is Iron Man the worst part of Iron Man?
No, he's not. Factually, he's not. But these two episodes, I think, are the best two episodes, and he's not in them at all. It's just got Mark and Spencer.
Maybe
not
you were
Spencer,
right
Steven.
about our first episode.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have just made Iron Man the first Iron Man movie all about Tony Stark. Maybe that's what MCU movies are missing, just making it about
This one guy.
just like before they they have that superhero persona, but it's just all about them, not the superhero.
I think that's what the people want. Only origin stories.
Only origin.
Nothing but.
Nothing.
Never get the powers.
Never get the powers. They never do the big superhero team ups.
My version of Spider-Man ends with Uncle Ben getting shot.
You end at the beginning.
My Hulk movie is actually like a scientific thriller that ends with a lab explosion, him getting covered in chemicals and gamma radiation, and then credits roll. There it goes.
I think it'll work. It'll work.
Yeah. I think we'll make billions of dollars.
Like MCU should definitely hire us.
So we're gonna give us a run through of the episode and talk about it as we go. So the first episode starts out, and we've got
episode as in the fourth episode.
It's the fourth episode. The first episode, and by the first episode, the fourth episode.
Yeah.
Starts out with Steven is in control of the body. Mark is gone. And him and Layla are out in the middle of the desert, having a grand old time, smooching up a storm. How you feel about that? We had a whole conversation about
We did,
this.
and it happened. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, apparently Mark's not cool with that.
Uh-oh. Funny enough, hey, if you have a different personality, you can't make out with the other personality's girlfriend.
No, one of my favorite scenes is they kiss, and then he's about to paracord down, and then just Mark gets control of the arm, just punches him in the face. I'm like, yes.
So then after that, they're going down into that crevasse. They're getting into some real Indiana Jones style adventures, which I think were great. I love that. That's what the 2 and 3, that's what those should have been. More Indiana Jones, less whatever that was.
Less just Mark running around doing British stuff.
Open shirted horse riding, as that one dude was doing. So we're going through there, and we got the mummy coming back to life, the zombie priest. What'd you think about that?
I found it, just hearing the sound of the organ just going.
Yeah.
I'm like, Then he's making a clicking sound. I'm like, I feel like there's a reason for that, but they don't talk about it. Like,
Yeah, when did zombies? I feel like all zombies now turned into clickers. They're just like why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
It's like how all zombies got fast after 28 weeks later, whatever that movie's called, 28 days later. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, turns out Layla pretty sick. Layla's gonna be out there in the Avengers lineup beating up the next Thanos.
The next Thanos.
The one fight scene in between these two episodes is not done by Moon Knight. It's done by Layla.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Tears up.
Bro, like she pulls the mummy's arm off, and then the mummy continues to use his bone as like a dagger. Like just, I'm like, bro, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh shoot, just lost my hand. Well, now I got this cool like built-in weapon now. Just like let's just start getting stabby.
Meanwhile, while she's fighting the mummy, we got Steven, and he's getting further into the cave.
Found Alexander the Great's tomb.
Alexander the Great. You know what I thought when
Not
he said...
Alexander Hamilton. Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. You know what I thought when he opened that up and went, I think I found bloody Alexander the Great, mate. You know what I thought?
British people don't say mate, dude.
Mate. I thought...
That's Australia. Hold on. To be clear, Australian people say mate.
Fine. Here we go. Oh, I found bloody Alexander the Great, bruv.
Good enough.
There we go.
Yeah.
I thought, I wish I knew more about Alexander the Great. I don't know anything about Alexander the Great.
I know a little bit, but it's like very, very like I know just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that he was alive during like pyramid times, and that's why he has his tomb because he was like nominated as a pharaoh. And we probably look stupid not knowing much about Alexander the Great.
Yeah. So I wound up Wikipediaing Alexander the Great, and you know what I learned? The only thing I knew about Alexander the Great was wrong. The only thing I knew about Alexander the Great is that he was, it was him and Cleopatra. They were into each other. Turns out he was into a Cleopatra, not the Cleopatra.
A Cleopatra.
A Cleopatra.
History books did not make that clear.
No, I thought we were having an MCU of history. Turns out they're 300 years apart.
So I kind of like that he just like popped open the tomb and just like, you know, casually was just desecrating this ancient burial site.
Right.
That like legitimately historians have been searching for years and years and probably would have loved to preserve it. And it's like he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna rip his jaw open, just stick my hand down there.
I can't wait to see the first person that they're like, hey, you should look over there. Guy comes down and he's like, I found Alexander the Great. Oh my goodness, they killed him like that.
What was the mummy thing doing? Like, why was he harvesting living organs from people and like putting them in jars and stuff?
Oh, that's a solid question. I assume it's maybe just like a, hey, I'm a zombie priest. I'll do what I used to do.
Maybe, but he wasn't mummifying them because mummifying was kind of more of a, like, you have to be a little bit more wealthy for that. Because like there's a whole process to it. So like that was like legitimately someone's job was to mummify people. Like people paid to get that done.
Yeah. Why didn't Alexander the Great come back as a mummy? I feel like we missed something in the mummy section where that mummy came from. What was going on?
I think he's just like an ancient guardian. Because that's what they were taught. That's what they were talking about with the hieroglyphics that they were looking at. Is that he's an ancient guardian, so it's like it's kind of like a curse kind of thing, but it may not be considered a curse because he's protecting the site. So it's just sort of like, yeah, he's just an eternal protector that's there to just solemn, like, and I think there's multiple of them too, because there's the one that they see originally, and then there's one that was in the walls. So there may be more than one. Well, just in my hand right here, tell me if there's just one or there's two.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Will. We still aren't gonna know until the video gets out.
So then after that, Ethan Hawke busts into the room. He's got a gun. But he shoots Mark/Steven like 8 times. And he's
I think he shoots him once.
Oh, does he only shoot him once?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I saw him shoot him once and then he was falling forever.
Okay. So he falls forever into the water. and awakens in a mental hospital in Chicago. And he's there with Dr. Harrow, and he's learning more about himself. What were you thinking when you first saw that he's
I think his hair slicked back how they had when he was a doctor. Looks a lot better than the long hair look.
Okay.
No, he still wears like his sandals,
Mm-hmm.
which I wonder if like does that version of him still put glass in his sandals, or is that just him because he's got his power things
I think they both do, but for different reasons.
for different reasons.
That guy, Dr. Harrow, is kind of the look I'm going for when I'm 50. Just the sandals, the slick back hair, and the little
Yeah,
little
I'm probably
mustache.
gonna. I probably won't look like that when I'm his age because I have a receding hairline.
Yeah.
I'll probably look like a Professor X, but with like a mustache beard combo here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can we rewind a bit?
Mhm.
So you remember at the very beginning? Is it the beginning of the fourth episode?
Mhm.
Is when they're putting Khonshu like as his statue in like this little thing,
Mhm.
and you saw the other statues, right?
Right.
So that means that other there's like obviously more than the gods there are now, but they've had to seal other gods away before.
Right.
Obviously, the bad guy,
Mhm.
the main antagonist, but they also had to like. So I think it's Ra. Ra is the main. Was technically the king of gods. I don't think he was in the group.
Was he not the main guy? I kind of assumed that was the main guy. I didn't hear any of the names they passed around.
No, they didn't. I don't think they didn't verbalize who was who.
Yeah.
But at least what they've done is they've sealed other gods away
Right.
for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Now my question is, are all those gods going to be released at some point
Right.
and do whatever it is that they do?
Interesting.
Either they're good, evil, whatever.
Or are we sure that the gods that are currently out are the good gods? Maybe the locked up ones are the bad ones. Maybe we're coming to a plot twist and that main guy is like the god of the underworld or the god of murder or something. I don't know.
Well, because they all the gods besides Khonshu, of course,
Mhm.
are just observing. They don't want to interfere.
Right.
At least that's what they say.
That's what they say.
So obviously the other guy, because like Khonshu gets locked up for messing with this guy.
Mhm.
So that's because not only that he did it twice. So that's like he said like I'll seal you in stone if you do that again. And later that episode just does it again.
Do you think we're building up to a god war? Because we got the Egyptian gods, we got the Norse gods for forever.
We're gonna have the Greek gods.
They're introducing the Greek gods. Are we gonna have a mythology war? Is that what we're building?
Maybe that'd be pretty cool. We
Yeah.
saw a film.
Mm.
All right, so go back up. So he's falling and he wakes up in a mental hospital.
Yep.
And there are actually some familiar faces. I think his boss is there.
Mhm.
Steven's boss is there.
Mhm.
And then Layla's also there.
Yep.
So at first I thought I was tripping out. I'm like, is everything we've been watching been an illusion?
Yeah.
Or is this the illusion and everything else is real?
Mhm.
And it kind of wavers the line and kind of confuses me a bit. But then, and like maybe like everything that we're experiencing and watching isn't even real.
Maybe.
That's what like I was kind of thinking this whole time. I'm like, what's real, what's not? And then I eventually figured out like, okay, I figured out the next episode. Like, okay,
Mm.
everything that's happening in the doctor's office is what's in his head,
Mhm.
and everything that's happening after he dies, like in the hallways in the hospital, where he's jumping room to room, that's the real thing. I think.
Or is it?
I don't know anymore.
Let me break it down to you. This is just the story of a crazy person. That's why he's not going to be in it anymore. There's no Egyptian gods in the MCU.
Pretty sure it is. Moon Knight's actually a pretty big character. Is a
Nope,
pretty cool
Moon
character.
Knight's not real. No, that's the funny part about this is like maybe it's either way. Maybe it's either way. But it is the way where Moon Knight's real. It can be in the MCU's next battle.
Yeah, because they're trying to make money off this dude.
Right.
They wouldn't just do this like, oh, it's just an illusion. Yeah, they're trying to milk this cow dry, man.
But after he escapes out of Dr. Harrow's office, he's running down a hallway, and at the end of the episode, busts through a set of double doors, and what's waiting for him on the other side? A massive hippo.
Massive hippo.
Did
So-
you?
Hi.
Hi. I hated that little hi. I was like, uh-oh.
She's
I'm
the
not gonna be a
god.
fan
So
of.
she's the goddess of women and children.
Yep.
So
Hippos.
Yeah. Hippos. No, I think it just looks like a hippo. Oh, fun fact about hippos.
Okay, fun fact about hippos.
Hippos can't actually swim. Did you know that?
What?
Hippos can't swim. They are made of a lot of muscle, and they're too dense to float and to swim. So basically, when you see their heads popping up, it's most likely that they're just popping their heads out to get water, and then they're just walking across underwater. Yeah, hippos are tanks, dude. They literally cannot float.
It makes sense, but like what? Interesting. You want to know another fun fact that everyone knows? Kill a lot of people.
Hippos are herbivores, but hippos can wreck some stuff, bro.
That means they kill you because they want to, not because they need to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They kill you because they're like, hey, what you doing in my swamp, mate? That's not the right voice for hippo, but they're gonna be hippos are Australian for me, I guess.
Hi, I'll wreck you.
Are you trying to have a tizzy, mate?
I got a bit tizzy in it.
So
Alright.
yeah. So there's a fun fact about hippos. Here,
The
I'm just
fun
gonna put that right here. Fun facts with Joey. New segment.
Fun new segment. All right. So, after they meet the hippo, they walk out the double doors and they're on a boat. Did you see that coming?
So, I wasn't expecting the boat,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that boat it was a pretty cool I think it was a really cool theatrical choice. It was very I like the scene of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of cool. And then how the she just reached her hands in their chest and pulled out their white hearts. I'm like, why are their hearts white?
Thank goodness that worked.
Yeah, she was worried because she hadn't had to do it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, I was like, bro, what the heck? And then the scales weren't balancing, and I'm like, I feel like they better introduce at least some more personalities here, because that would make the most sense why they weren't balanced, because it's not. They said she even said they're only partially complete.
At the end of the episode, we're down a personality, and now he's balanced. Is it balancing because now he has two personalities and it's even?
I don't know, because. So here's the thing: we know there was another personality. Well,
Yeah.
at least my thought is that other Egyptian tomb that we saw
Mhm.
was the other personality. He looks in the first room he looks in. Of course, it's Stephen's tomb,
Mhm.
which that's just lucky. Then we see another tomb, but they don't open it.
Oh, right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they don't open it,
Mhm.
and then they just continue on, go through his memories, blah 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 blah. So I think that other tomb has that third personality in it, and I think all his personalities were created when he was younger. I don't think that he's going to be creating them as an adult. I mean, I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like all his personalities already exist. It's just none of them have really peeked their head. Whether at first I thought that kid was going to be another personality.
Yeah.
One of his personalities is a kid. No, it just turns out that it's just his brother that he accidentally murdered.
What a creepy room of death.
It's sadness.
Yeah.
Oh, then Steven, because then they kind of hinted before they told us that Stephen Grant was the main character for a movie that he watched as a kid.
Right.
And so he made that personality Stephen Grant. At first I thought that movie was just made up in part of his head, and that's what Stephen actually wants to be and how Stephen wants to live his life. But Stephen Grant is based off of a movie character that he watched as a kid.
Speaking of that, about this point, we start seeing flashbacks to his childhood. And we see him and his brother. Please quit thought boasting the camera as I'm attempting to talk about child death. So they're going down into that horrifying cave. And it's just... Is there anything worse in the world than the idea of drowning inside of a cave? I don't think there's
Mom
much
says
worse.
not to go in there when it rains. Shh, psh, we'll be fine.
Fine. Good
Steven,
night.
lads, we gotta get out of here, lads. Come on. I don't know why Steven thought he could just change a memory like that and to save their lives. I don't know what he was thinking about that. I'm like, bro, it's obvious that they can't hear you. They haven't seen you or heard you this entire time. Maybe that's what the third personality is. It's just how he created a personality that's his brother.
Or is it his mother?
Maybe his mom was kind of It's I don't think like how his mom reacted to that. I can't imagine like any of like I can't imagine my mom, my biological mom or my adopted mom like doing that.
Right.
Like reacting the way that she did, and because she already lost one child, and so she's basically disowning the other one because of an accident.
She's got schizophrenia, right? That's what the kid was saying when he's like, "That's not my mom. That's not my mom. That's not my mom." Yeah.
I think maybe that's what happened, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the mom. But I feel like how she treated Mark wouldn't actually be how most people now would treat their kid.
Right.
Like if something like that happened. Now, unless like Mark like had a gun to his brother's head and shot his brother in the head, that's a different situation. But what happened was an accident.
Right.
Because he technically, I feel like Mark didn't technically kill him, but he didn't say he could have prevented it, his death. So,
just don't take him down to the cave.
Yeah, like bro, it's raining. Don't go down to a cave if you don't know. You obviously don't know how water flow works.
You actually you called something from the first episode that we found out in this episode. The mom's been dead the whole time.
Knew it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like thinking
it.
that. I was thinking that when I was watching it too, because it took me a minute.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what thing are you referring to that I called?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, the mom's most likely dead.
Yep.
Because he didn't talk. Because like even Steven, all the phone calls he had, like it was all in his head.
Yeah.
And which was sad, like to actually find out, like, oh crap, that's one of the things I was right about.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the mom's actually dead.
Yep.
And like how Mark just stood out, like his dad was like one of the better dads I've seen in Disney films for sure, next to the Encanto dads. Like he celebrated his son's birthday, like the first birthday, like after his brother's death, and then like his dad's like, yeah, she's not gonna celebrate. Your mom's not feeling well, so it's just gonna be me and you this year. And I'm like, at least you're not reacting like the mom did and like completely disowning your son. And then like at the funeral, he like gestured in for Mark to come in, and like Mark's like, no, like I'm pretty sure everyone at that funeral would know that his mom, after his brother's death, his mom just hated him. Yeah, so I mean that was like a real like, man, I'm glad I was right, but I kind of wish I was wrong.
And then to pile it all onto the bummer sandwich, as they're fighting on that boat, taking out the zombies as they're trying to balance the hearts, he is thrown to the sand.
Bro, and I'm like, he's either gonna turn to sand or turn to stone right here. Like, why don't you just turn the boat around, man?
Yeah.
Like, come on, where's the hippo lady? Where's the goddess at, man?
Right.
I'm sure she could jump down there and just grab him real quick.
I'm sure she's got some rules she's got to follow. I'm sure she can't just go, I like you, stay up here.
So, that was sad.
How long do you think Steven's gone for? Do you think he's gone, or do you think
No, he's not gone.
Yeah.
They're gonna get him back. I think what happened was the personality. He didn't, because he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least the personality's not dead, because obviously if he was dead, he'd just turn to sand. No, he just turned to stone, because I guess he's not technically supposed to be down there.
Well, I think he is sand, isn't he?
No.
I think he's little bits of sand.
I would say he's sandstone.
Oh yeah, meet in the middle, sandstone.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, there were some solid episodes. I mean, it was a bittersweet ending with 5, but I feel like it's gonna all come together in 6. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this video?
I'm gonna go 8.3.
8.3.
Yeah. What about you?
I just say a solid 8. I liked them. I think they were for sure better. Like they for sure blew 2 out of the water, and then 3 was pretty good.
It was fine. Yeah. Here's something interesting I noticed, because Courtney hadn't been watching this up until earlier this week, and so we went through and we blasted through the previous episodes to these two, and it really gets me, because every single time one of these new Disney Plus Marvel shows comes out, I don't like it at some point. And it really they just need to put the show all out at once. Like,
Yeah, so they
I
can
don't
stop
like the
having to
week
do
to
those freaking recaps every episode.
Yeah, the recaps, the week to weeks. I just like a show is better if you watch it within a week. I get they want to like drag it out and
They're
have
gonna make
people
the same.
talk
I'm pretty
about
sure
it.
they're gonna make the same amount of money either way.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
don't
just so it can give them more time to like get other stuff finished up and ready to be
right.
next. So I mean, I can kind of see that perspective on it,
hmm
but I also like I just like it when they just put everything on there.
Yeah, yeah. Netflix had a real thing going for it when they invented just put the whole show out. And we've really stepped away from that and gone back to normal TV, and it's terrible.
It sucks. It honestly does.
Yeah. We also missed it in the last episode. What was your numerical ranking for the 2 and 3?
Numerical ranking for 2 and 3.
Yeah, we forgot to do it last time. Mine's like a 7.3, maybe.
I'd have to agree on that one. It
Yeah.
was, I think, because 2 dragged it down a bit. I think
Yeah.
because it was a more boring episode.
hmm
I'm kind of glad we grouped it with 3 because then that would have been a boring thing for us to talk about.
Yeah, it's because 3 wasn't even that good. It's still the second worst episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm gonna be really mad if episode 6 sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, Will, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for Will reads Joey a bad review. Joe reacts to that bad review using words and says why it's a bad review. Or this acronym.
I like how you took this over because you didn't like that I was changing the acronym, but you've changed it every time you've done it.
Yeah, but at least I'm a little bit more consistent with my words.
Okay.
And
right.
Will's probably going to put like, no, you're not. You're just as bad as I am. I'm right, Will. Okay?
I'll go and don't even edit that much stuff into these, but
Just
I've
whatever-
made
hey,
Joey
Will,
so
whatever you
paranoid.
Whatever you do, Will, just don't put a dog face on me right now.
I won't.
I was joking. Put a dog face on
I
me
won't.
right now. We need more graphics.
I will not put a dog face on you.
Will, just do an explosion right now. Just go.
You have way too much faith in me. 5 out of 10 stars by HeatSink98. This episode is an info dump of backstory set in a kooky part of our hero's mind. The main drivers of story, namely, will our hero survive and stop the villain, are set aside because our hero is dead. As far as having some semblance of plot, we do eventually find out that in the Egyptian afterlife, there are various versions of dead, some being more pleasant than others, but the main plot of the series moves very little.
They're not wrong on that.
Moves.
I feel, well, no, I mean like the backstory part. There's a lot of backstory.
There's a lot of backstory, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a lot. That's more for plot. That helps with plot development because it's kind of building trust between Steven and Mark, which I think is important. But I kind of see where like some people don't like that. For like people who've read the comic books, they know the origin story of Mark Spector, or AKA Moon Knight. But I feel like for those who don't really read the comics, it's pretty good. And I feel like it's more just because like a lot of people complain about the CGI. There's not too much CGI in this one. I mean, yeah, there's the hippo.
And the big boat. I
Yeah.
think this is the most CGI out of any of the episodes.
Okay, rewind.
But
real
it
quick.
looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad CGI though.
No,
Like,
the first episode was bad. This one's pretty sick.
yeah. So I feel like to say that it doesn't progress the plot forward wouldn't be true.
Right.
It does progress the plot forward. They are right that it is a lot of backstory. There's a lot of backstory in it, yeah, but it does help with the plot. It shows that they're building trust between each other by Mark telling Steven his whole story, like how Steven came to be. It helps Steven learn about himself and that, yeah, I'm not a real person, but it doesn't deter Steven. Like Steven's still trying. Like he fought those the sand zombie things to save Mark because that's what he's there to do. He's there to help Mark cope with the sadness. That's why he was originally created, because his mom was yelling at him and like mistreating him. So that's why Steven came to be. So it is a good, okay, you don't want to hear more origin story. I like origin stories. Like you said, these are some of the better episodes, and it's not like Moon Knight's not even really in it.
Right.
Because there's like the scenes where like you see Mark. You see Mark actually becoming bound with Khonshu and becoming his avatar. But that's plot. But we know that's what happened. Like Mark was about to kill himself. Then Khonshu's like, "Are you sure about that?" I mean, it's not necessarily a bad review. It's an alright review.
What do you rank their review?
I'd have to give them a 3 out of 10. That's the highest rating. 3 out of 10 stars, because to say that it wasn't driving the plot would be 100% not true. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Indeed.
And tell your friends about our channel, because I think we've been progressing a bit more. We've been able to flow a bit more. And like our first videos, we were kind of awkward and like getting used to it, but I feel like we can conversate a bit better.
Oh.
Because I think we're getting used to recording.
We're learning how to be friends.
Yeah, we're learning how to be friends. We're already best friends, but I guess we're learning how to be even better friends. Started an explosion right there. Anyway, so guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what movie review you want us to do next, but we might not do it. But we might do it.
Might do it.
But we might not do it. But we probably won't do it. Bye! Man,
I'm actually audibly dyslexic.
I looked dyslexic.